honey. How are you? And having some problems getting on here. It's good to be back. How are you guys doing? How's life treating you? Um, I don't know if you guys can hear me. All right, guys. My production person was helping me out, but we were able to get the video working. So we're back. I had to mute myself because we were working on it. But we are here. How are you guys doing? Happy week. Happy weekend, I guess. How are you all doing? Oh man, it's always something, right? It is 9 o'clock. I'm glad it happened exactly at 9 o'clock. But I'm here. Welcome. Tonight we're talking about parenting. We're back to parenting. Somebody suggested this topic. Actually, Miss Anna, she's always on here. She wanted us to talk about parenting. Why not? We're all parents. Speaking of parents, thank you guys so much for all the birthday wishes for my son. He had an amazing time. It was actually really busy for me. I thought I was gonna come live, but and from going to the school, taking cupcakes and doing all that extra stuff, time flew by. But once more, just want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you for all the birthday wishes and all the sweet prayers and notes and comments and posts. It was amazing. He had an amazing time. I just can't believe he's actually 4. Still trying to take it in because I have so many videos of him when he was a baby, and those videos keep popping up on my phone. And I remember the very first one when the nurse put him on me and he took his first meal into the world. You know, brought some emotions, but really grateful. I can't believe when people say time flies, it literally really does. So I'm enjoying every moment and every second each of my babies. All right, let's jump into it. Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss P. I'm gonna wait for a few of you guys to come on. I am so sorry. I apologize. I had some issues with StreamYard tonight. I'm trying to get on, and my video wouldn't let me come on. It kept saying pause. So, but I have somebody who always helped me with these StreamYard stuff. So he was able. I was on the phone with him. He was able to hop on really quick to assist. With that said, welcome to the show. Let's share it. Let me go into our chat room and just let my peoples know that we are live. Hopefully, it won't kick me out again, but we're live. Oh man, parenting. I feel like I'm learning, and I'm still learning. guys see what I'm talking about? It's 60 hours. It's 60 hours, so we're trying to rush this. Can you guys hear me? So what? You guys are excited? Hey, so far, I supposed to you guys well, let's try to get the phone. Having some technical problem tonight. How many things are here? Something's here. All right. You guys can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Perfect. Thank you. Sorry, man. It kicked me out again just now, but it looks like it's working. How you doing? Happy weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, so where's who's Lawrence? He left.
You got some echo in your background.
I do. I have an echo.
I think so.
Moved my stuff. I found a corner and I thought it would disturb me now. That's probably why there's echo.
I don't know why. I don't know why. The people from Canada, every time they come on this show, they always on mute or their video is switched off some kind of way every day.
Jimmy, 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 don't stop worrying.
I'm not.
So, where's Lauren? I feel like this is a nice topic for Lawrence to be here. Let's see. But let's jump into it. While this thing is working, hopefully it's not gonna kick me out again. But welcome to the show. We're talking about the difference between parenting and raising children. I hope Anna. I'm gonna send her a text just now. I hope Anna can join. She's the one who actually suggested that topic. Um, so let's get to the show. My name is Felicia. I am your host, and we got our co-host and our panelist. Anna is here.
Yeah, thank you, Fee. Thank you for that. Again, welcome again. We are here to discuss a very, very important topic in relation to uh, parenting and raising a child or raising children. Thank you. I will address that man in Minnesota issues later. I'm not saying anything. For the past 1 month, he had not been here, and here you want to send Tatron to me. But it's okay. We will discuss that later. Let other people finish first.
All right, introduce yourself. Sure, man. Sorry, I've been having some glitch with the system, so hopefully it won't kick me out. Oh, she's muted. All right, Jimmy, what's up?
Hi everyone. Sorry, I can hear you guys.
Okay, Jimmy, what's up?
I'm good. Um, I don't know how long I'll be here, but I'm here,
All
and I want
right.
to say welcome to our viewers. The name has always been Jimmy Kazulu every time his face appear, and it's good to be here. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for having me. This is really an interesting topic and I'm excited
Thank
to be part of the show today.
you. I'm glad that you suggested the topic. So, I actually went back and watched that video you suggested, and that was very touching. So I was like, we definitely need to talk about it. Um, Jumping is parenting, so I don't talk about that here before. Um, what is parenting? Do you guys want to give your own definition, or you want me to just read what the definition is?
Well, you can read the definition that you have as a general one, and then the the book people that are here can add to it.
However, I saw your message later on. I know you said earlier. But the definition of parenting is that parent is the process of promoting supporting physical, emotional.
You need to work on your audio.
Is it my audio? All right. Give me. I'm gonna mute my.
Mr. Co-host, you can take over until she gets back. You are muted.
Yes, true, you're right. Okay, she's back anyway. But interestingly, it's important. Okay, she's here back. Let's just continue. You can
How
continue.
does it sound?
Still sound like you under the water.
No, but
Or
I'm hearing her though.
is it me or is you?
It's you. Are you in a tunnel? Are you living in a tunnel?
No. And does it sound good?
That my nephew birthday taking care of her.
Is it sounding that way to everybody?
It's much better now.
Okay. Oh man, I have to figure something. All right. Parenting. It says parenting is the process of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, social, intellectual development of a child from infant to adulthood. Refers to the aspects of raising a child other than the biological relationship. Orphan, and then it jumps into other things. But basically, it's the process of promoting, supporting the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual development of a child from infancy to the adulthood. So that's what parenting is. I know we talked about this before. Now, I'm gonna get the definition of what raising children is. Then we jump into it. Let me pull my notes here. So it said that of course there are different, you know, definitions on this, but it said parenting or child rearing promotes and supports the physical, emotional, social, spiritual, cognitive development of a child from infancy to adulthood. So, so for you guys, what's your definition when you hear parenting or raising? Who wants to go first?
It's Andrew.
I'm so thrown off
Why?
by whatever happened.
Why you want me to go?
Okay, then let Anna go.
Anna, are you in a position to talk now?
I see Anna is muted. Mr. Co-host, leave the thing you're doing and focus.
Okay.
She's not with us.
Interestingly, is good, and this topic is a brilliant topic on a discussion. That we need to talk about. And when I saw the topic today, like, wow, this is very important. But come to think about it in such a way that we need to understand it from various angles.
Right.
The two key thing we're discussing here. I want to know the difference between someone who is parenting and someone who is raising a child. And you gave few definitions of raising or parenting. Like before, we weren't discussing parenting here before,
Yeah.
and we talk about taking on parenting. We're taking on key responsibility of an infant, ensuring that emotional, that physical needs are met, everything that the child needs must be met by the parent, both emotionally, socially, everything that has to do with the child. But we want to look at raising up a child. What is the key difference? From what we researched, we know that the important role or difference between parenting a child and raising a child, it requires
Yeah.
consistency, because you can parent a child, but if you are not consistent, that child will not be raised well. So you need to be consistent. You need to be active. That means you must be in the child life. You should put in tireless effort and engagement. You should be in the child life, that raising. And if we not talk about raising of a child, to take care of, to take care of, to support, and to raise the child until maturity. So you as a parent, if you parenting but you are not raising, because here, which is the former? Raising a child is different from parenting a child. In the formula of raising, we requires taking care or taking on the full obligation that comes with the parent role. So when you're raising a child, you mean you coming on with the, oh, Jimmy has left. I don't know why he leaving.
He said he wouldn't be here for too long.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have even come on. No wonder why well, we asked him to go first, but he didn't do it.
He gotta leave. I just saw him.
Okay, that's an issue. So where's Anna? So the key rule for parents. So you cannot be parenting and at the same time you're not raising. Both
Right.
there's a difference, but the difference between that is that you, in raising the child, you should be engaged. You take on the full responsibility role of a parent. Oh, I'm a parent. You can be a parent, but you're just a parent when you're not raising up a child. Then who are you?
Sorry, I'm sharing it. That's why my head is down.
Yeah, I share it already on my page and other pages too already. So raising up a child and parenting are two different things. And in raising a child, meaning that you take up on full responsibility because you are there to take care of a person's emotional and social need as a parent. But
Right.
if you're not taking care of that full responsibility, then the raising part is absent. So that's it. That makes it the key difference. Because as a parent, if you're raising up a child, that means you take it. Because some people they take care of people's children. They take care
Right.
of the full responsibility, so they help raise the children. Anna says she's back.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm out ordering food for my kids. So if you hear noise, I'll be in and out of the show today. I didn't know today was the day you guys would talk about this, and I'm really curious to learn about this.
We're gonna do this today and tomorrow because I think this is
We could do part one today, maybe for I don't know an hour and a half, and then tomorrow we continue with it,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
depending.
So I can go before my phone dies because I'm out. If it's okay, I can give my input because once you told me what the topic was, I kind of did some research because I too was very curious when I saw that video I shared with you. I didn't know what the difference was. But one thing I learned about raising a child and being and parenting is that both are basically they love the kids, right? But when you're parenting, you are practically just providing the funds to make sure that the child has all their needs. And then when you're raising the child, it's when you're actively present, like seeing the day to day
I hope her phone is not dead.
Sorry. I hope, yeah, I was like, I hope it's not StreamYard, but you're still here. You can hear me, right? You can hear me, right, Andrew?
I'm hearing you, Fee.
Okay. Yeah, so what Anna was saying, right? I just hold on until she comes back. It said, like you already said it, right? Raising a child is like it requires a constant, active, tireless effort, engagement. Like you can't just say, today it's just I'm in and out. Okay, she's back. It's saying she's there already. Okay. Anna, you can hear us?
I don't know what wrong with Anna do, but
Yeah. Parenting a child, in my understanding from, it's like I'm the parent, right? I birthed the child, or I adopted the child, or I have custody or guardianship on that child, right? So legally, I'm recognized as the child's parents or guardians. So if they needed a parent to represent that child, I would be considered that. Now, raising a child, it's someone, in my opinion, you go an extra mile. It's like your number one goal is to make sure that that individual is trained and is ready for the world. So that's why when it says, the definition says that raising a child and requires consistent, active, tireless effort and engagement. Like you got to be involved in your children's life. You can't just have a child. You're like, oh yeah, I'm parenting, and then they're living off of. And no, and I'm not picking on anybody on this, but you just provide money, and then you're like, oh, they can fend for themselves, but you're not physically there, even like to even give advice or things like that. That's not raising children. So when I watched another video a few months ago, and this gentleman had a claim, and he said he hates to hear when people say they have joint custody, that they're raising their split custody raising children. He said that is a BS. He said because there's no way you living in another world and the child lives with another parent that you're co-parenting. He said there is no such thing as co-parenting. There's co-providers. There's not co-parenting, because if that child is sick, are you waking up to go take them? If that child, something happened to that child, are you there tirelessly? The person that that child lives with, the person that's actually raising and parenting that child. So that really hit differently, and I was thinking about it. So I don't know what your thoughts on that is, Andrew.
yeah, I mean, just similarly, just what you said. I think I mentioned that a bit earlier
Mm.
on that. You see, you cannot be parenting. Your role there is to ensure that everything the child needs, he or she has them. But if the child, you just as a parent, you are there, and then the aspect of raising the child, that providing all of the other things that the child needs, it is not being provided. Let's take the example. They say you should take when you raising a child, meaning that you taking on the entire obligation of the parent role. So as a parent, when you are not playing that role of the child in the child life, then obviously you are not parenting. So when you are parenting goes, raising goes with parenting as well, both of them. But the key difference between the both of them, what we talk, which is the key thing we want to discuss here, is that raising requires you taking what the entire role. You require you being present in the child's life. You must be engaged. That word engaged means you should be totally involved in a child's activities. You should be active. You cannot be in Vondermeyer and then you see you raising your child in Monrovia.
Right.
You cannot sit down in Maryland and raising your child in Virginia. It's impossible. So what kind of parent are you?
Sorry, River says Pro said poor sound quality. Is it still not working?
Well, I'm not know what he means about the post sound quality part because I'm on a show. I'm getting you, but I'm not sure what the other ones are doing. But I'm getting you loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. I don't even know why the comments are not like populating on this board for me to see it.
I don't know why. Probably they're gonna come. I don't know. I share it too. Probably when someone posts it will come. But like I was saying, right? I was saying. So you currently earlier made a statement that somebody said there's no word of co-parenting. I want to agree with that thing. Two person cannot parent a child separately.
Living separately, right?
Two parent cannot a two person cannot parent a child separately. You cannot be living in Virginia, and then you want to parent and the other person living in Maryland, and then say, okay, you be to your mom place, or you be to your then you come after week in, week out, the child is when you confusing that child. So when you are providing everything that the child needs entirely, well, but understanding is that when you providing, if you are making provision for the child, everything you paying a school fee, giving them food to eat, and everything, that parenting, that's your role. But if you are not active, then you are not raising.
Right.
So you being active, you can provide the food and everything, pay tuition and everything. But if you're not active in the life of the child, that is the aspect of raising. That means the child going to do something negatively that will also have an effect on you. So the raising aspect has to be you as a parent, you must be involved in the child's life. You will be engaged with
Hello.
until maturity. Raise the child until maturity.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. There are comments coming in. I can see it from my phone, but I'm not seeing it popular on here. Man, I'm so sorry, guys. StreamYard has been really difficult this evening to jump on.
Yeah. So as I was saying, so you as a parent, you say you need to deal with the emotional, the social, the needs, all the needs of the child. You as a parent, you will provide it. So it's come to tell about it.
Right.
Anna, you are not in. How can we hear you?
Oh, let me out here. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now
I'm
we can.
hearing you, Anna.
Oh, now I can hear you better because when I'm talking, I was agreeing with what you said, Andrew, and I think that to add to what you're saying, when you're actively not there, you're not raising the child, and everything that the child does because you're parenting and you're financially contributing to that child's life affects you. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and to even further on that, you notice that people they say I will provide all of the needs. But why? I providing everything for the child, especially come typically African parents. I'm providing for the child. He called me, I pay the school fee. I tell him to go out, I send money, and you do this and you do this and do that. But are you involved in a child's life? Are you actively involved, engaged with the child? If you are not, then the child will not be raised well. Then the child will not be raised well.
Yeah.
So you see, so you raise, yeah.
Go ahead, finish your thoughts.
So you raising you parenting a child, by providing all their basic needs is good. But if you're not raising the child by being active in the life of the child, then obviously there's an issue. That child will grow out and be a wayward child. And like someone said, I didn't subscribe to people who always say co-parenting, co-parenting. There's no such thing as co-parenting, because you cannot be living in maybe or 20 miles from each other, or maybe 45 miles or 50 miles or even 300 miles from each other. So you can't tell me say you want to parent. No, you what you're gonna do? You're gonna confuse the child. You're gonna confuse the child.
I
And
gotta
and I
I
get issue with
disagree with
people.
that.
You
I
are.
yes, I definitely disagree. I think that a child can be raised in a family dynamic where both parents are, and it's a toxic relationship, and it would affect the child equally as someone that is co-parenting and it's a healthy. You know how sometimes when people become separated, they're more healthier your relationship is healthier when they're apart. I think just having a the
Oh,
understanding that we're here to raise this child in the best way possible and making sure that they're communicating, they can raise a better child than if both of them were in that house and being toxic.
My point, I think, let me get my point across perfectly. Probably something. I'm not saying what a child being would ever want to see. On the issue of the co-parenting, there's someone making the provision of the child for everything, and then you got remember here, Anna, over time past we discussed similar issue like that. If the child is with this mother, and the father is on the other side of the world, but yet the mother sends him to the child, to the father, go to spend a week to your father. After a week or two, the child go back to the father. This is why I'm talking about confusion, or who going to instill such a race discipline into the child? Who the person going to discuss? The only way that can work in my mind is that in a much that the two parents they are in toxic relationship, but if there's come to mutual understanding, well, what we're going through or what we're doing, we don't want for, because remember, children learn by example, they learn from their parents, because the parents are the first teacher in life of the children. So anything the child does or the parent do, it have an effect on the children. So if until the both of them understand each other to say, well, look, we want to bring other child in the best way. Saying we could not even maintain our relationship, but every day in a toxic relationship, but we want the child to be okay. So we will pretend that this does not happen. We pretend that it's not happening to us. Okay? Then before you can bring other child in a way. But if I go with all that mutual understanding, and then if the child goes to the father place, and then when the mother gets vexed, I don't want my child to go to your place because we know how you people behave. My child is not going to your place for your wife or your girlfriend to treat my child, vice versa. So the child will be confused in a process of being in transit. Who are you going to? So until the two parents understand each other, they say, well, this is what we need to do in order to avoid this situation. Our child to be raised the best way so that tomorrow he or she will not depart from it biblically. So that's the point I was trying to put across. Okay. But raising a child meaning involving the child should do everything. You should do everything to cater to the child to make sure the child is okay. You should be involved, you should be in the life of the child. But you cannot be sitting there in Virginia, and then one parent can be sitting there in Virginia, not involved in the child life, then you expect that child to be raised well. Only one person will get the glory. And that's the issue why we come here. We are not opting for people who go into divorces. We don't want people to be focusing on divorce, because if you go into that or go on separate relationship or separate life, live a separate life, it will have a direct impact on the survivability of the child.
thank you so much for
Thank you.
that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Do you want to come in?
No, I said that makes a lot of sense what he just said.
It does. The reason I would say that I partially don't agree because, like Anna said, right? I think it depends on how the relationship ends, right? Most cases, relationship don't end on a really good note. Because one person, in my opinion, it's always still wanting that relationship to work, regardless of whatever it is they're happening. So they start to plot and do things just to make the other person look like they're suffering. So in my opinion, unless two individuals like sit and come up with a like get closure and they both absolutely know that they don't want that relationship, I think, or sometimes people just say, you know what, let's just do it for the sake of the kids and just talk about it and be cordial. But I feel like in most cases, people are not really, how do you say it? People are not really like ready to let go of certain relationships because they feel like they've given all they can and now they use the kids as a pawn. And in most cases, women are guilty of that. But I wanted to go to the comment section really quick. There's a few comments that for some reason, I'm so sorry guys, it's not populating on here for me to put it on the screen. But Liberian eminent intellectual. It's good to see you back. Welcome back. So he said, parenting is not just about providing fun. The family law provides parental responsibility, duties, powers, responsibilities, and authority that parents have in relation to their children. Uh, so I'm just gonna read some more. It says the obligation is a legal requirement. Yeah, but I feel like as much as their family law and Anna, you can kind of like chip in on here. I think is I think the law gets involved when one of the parents decide to go legal, right? Because I don't think the law unless there is like some type of abuse or things like that happening. But I,
Divorces and stuff. When
huh?
it comes, when I think that person was talking more about like legal obligation when it comes to like divorces and like court orders and things like that. That's what that person was talking about. Yes, you have legal responsibilities that which includes funds. That's something I should have mentioned, but not every person that is legally responsible for a child takes that takes that initiative to still partake in the responsibilities that the court is asking them to do. I know parents that they've been asked to pay child support and also take some time to spend with those kids. That's their legal responsibility they've given them, but they don't adhere to it. So it's
Right,
yeah.
right. So the other community says that raising a child is different from parenting a child, which we all agree, as the former requires taking on the full obligation that comes with the parenting role.
Yeah, that's what we said earlier. Yeah, something the father said on parenting.
Yeah, and says that's why, based on what you just said, he said that's why the government takes them away from them. Not in all cases, I will say that I'm not a social worker, but based on what I've seen, I think in most cases, if the other parents feel like he doesn't want to take part into it, he's just doing the bare minimum and paying the child support, whatever. That's his problem. He'll deal with it. Unless the other um parents get upset and go back to the court, how will they know? You know? And that's why one parents need to be really be the person, the responsible parents, I should say, should be the one responsible enough to say, you know what, whatever. I am going to go to the court. We're going to share 50-50. But then it becomes where it's like, oh, she's trying to. So let me just give you an example. There's a young lady at my job. That she felt really comfortable talking to me. She has 5 children, and 4 of them is from her previous marriage. And she was telling me how things are really tough for her. So she has full custody, and she was just telling me that um, the father of the children live in another state. They have split custody, but he decided to move out of state, so he hasn't really been involved in the kid's life. But he feels like he's raising him because the kids goes to him every summer. And when I thought about this topic, I was just thinking about that. So she basically said that because the kid is one of the children are failing in school, so he came and kind of like manipulated her in thinking that she was doing something wrong. But the truth is, both of them are doing something wrong because it's difficult for, you know, how can you have split custody and you're in another state? I don't understand that. That's crazy. So, anyway, I don't know the legal aspect of that, but in my opinion, I just think that's outrageous. But she thought how to solve that problem was to send the kids to him. Come on. But anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in there. I don't know what you guys think. that my friend co-parenting will only raise in relationship breakdown. Hence,
You
the
see, you you you
the
you
best.
see, we were talking about parenting
Uh-huh.
the last time, and guess what we talk about? You see, the skills and techniques you use, the methodology you use in raising all the children is what we call parenting.
So just really quick, sorry, there's this comment. So Liberian eminent intellectual said, just so you all know, every aspect of life is regulated by law. Of course, there are law and rules and regulation we each have to follow, but there are also clauses that also protect individual rights. So as much as, let's just say, God forbid, me and my husband didn't work out. We have two children, right? Obviously, if we both cannot sit and, come up with a rational decisions how we're going to handle our kids, because that's something we have to deal with for the rest of our lives, then of course the legal system have to get involved to protect the children from two individuals that just don't know what they want to do with themselves, and they're using their own emotions to, hold on to the kids. So then the law has to get involved to create something that will actually work in favor of the children, because they're innocent in whatever it is that's going on. So definitely am aware of that. Um, but I want us to let, people that don't know the differences, I want us to really point out what are those good examples of, what parenting is, because I think people just put those two together and just figure out that parenting and raising children is the same. But like we said, is absolutely, they're a huge difference. One, you're a parent by birth. That's just out there. You're the parent out there, and that's it. Nobody else can take that away from you. Biologically, you are the parent. Now, when it comes to raising the children, that's something that I feel like someone know or just assume that responsibility, and they understand what comes with parenting. Like the example, the definition that I read earlier on what parenting was. Let's go back to it. I'm gonna go back to my note really quickly. You guys are all like in black. Oh my gosh. Tonight's show is kind of like, I don't know, I almost canceled it because of all these issues with StreamYard tonight, but I didn't want to miss it. Let's continue. So as I stated earlier, right off the bat, soon you find out you're having a kid, you are automatically assumed as a parent. Once the child comes to planet Earth or arrive, you are full-on parent. Then the responsibilities are there. You are there to promote and support the physical, emotional, social, intellectual development of that child from infancy to adulthood. Get it? Throughout to adulthood. Once they're adulthood, they assume their own responsibility. Well, that's what we hope, but that doesn't always happen, right? But when you look at other definitions, it said parenting, the process of raising children, providing them with protection, care, in order to ensure their healthy development into adulthood. That's another definition of that. So technically, parenting and raising children should be hand in hand, right? It should go together. But as we all know, that's not always what's happening. There are some people who feels like by just providing financial needs, they're parenting or they're raising their children. That's what some people feel like.
No, like and I guess I mean anyone
Okay.
who thinks about that yes, I'm providing, I'm giving the financial support and to the child, and you think you are parenting. Yes, you are parenting because it's your role, that's your obligation. But what about the other one that comes with it? What about the being involved in life of the child? What about the one being engaged, be active? What's about that one? So you think that you just the child doesn't just want money from you. The child needs your involvement, your total involvement in his or her life. But you are not there. You are not there. And then you say, yes, I'm parenting. Yeah, but yes, you parenting because the role of parenting tells you to do that. But
So let me just
I
flip.
have something to say.
I have.
I wanted to add that uh, uh, there's some people that want to be involved in their children's lives, but don't have the luxury to do that. Like I was watching a video of one of these celebrities who's able to parent her children, but because her husband is not working, she's not able to raise her kids. She has to provide the funds while her husband does the parenting. I wanted to add that it's important that if you cannot if you cannot raise your kids, provide the funds or provide be the parent, do take do all the obligation as a parent, and then take time
you
Oh,
you
yeah.
if that happens for me, the child or the children will have only one mentality, only one person methodology they will be used to, only one person, because the parenting talks about the skills, the techniques, the methodology you use to raise up the child. So you, the mother, fine, your husband is not working, and you're providing the funds. The father is there in the house raising the children up with his own ideas, with your own skills, with your own techniques, with your own methodology. So they are going to acquire those skills and methodology from their father and not from the mother. That's my take on that.
Yeah, so Riverside Pro said something that actually I was thinking about, right? He said, I think both roles, what did he say? Yeah, I think both roles are interconnected, which I think so too. That's how it should be, but that's not what we're getting recently, right? And then he said, coming from an African society, it was hard to distinguish between them. I agree. I think my understanding of being raised as a child, I would say, was my parents provided a roof over my head. They provided food for me. I had no room to complain about anything else because I have food to eat. I woke up in the morning and I had clothes to wear and things like that. So, in my understanding, for the longest time, I was like, well, they're raising me. But when we look deep into it, it's not just about that. It's about you preparing me for the world that I'm going to live in. And that's where I think that's where raising children is. It's not where I just because I have a roof over my head, anybody could give me that, right? Or because I have food to eat, somebody could feel sorry for me and give me food. But are you there to groom me into the young lady that I will be able to provide for myself and keep the human race going? I think that's my understanding of what raising children is along with parenting. For instance, right, my son, I think for the longest, he took forever to do everything. He took forever to walk. He took forever to talk. And, I kept saying, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Running around trying to figure it out. But then come to know every individual is different. I just need to provide the tools for him so that way he's prepared for the world. Now he does everything, but it's just something where you feel like, okay, if this person is doing that, you have this, why can't you do that? Like I'm providing all of this for you. If you need food, I buy it for you. If you need clothes, I buy it for you. Need so go to school, okay, we provide that for you. What else do you need? But what about the emotional aspect? What about training you to understand the world that we live in? And I feel like this is what I think goes back to what River Says Pro said. He also said, I think parenting is more Western concept. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Raising is more general concept. It is, but it's specific in a way. I don't think parenting, maybe the word how we use it is more of a Western, but I think parenting, everybody just know that's your parent, or maybe we just use different terms. But like for instance, when you just have a baby, right? You're here. Most people that are not Western, they will say, "Oh, let a baby cry," you know. Don't hold. You're gonna spoil the child. That's like, what does a baby understand about being spoiled? They don't understand that. All they want to do, they just need to build that connection with you, so they want you to hold them. And I really had a tough time when people kept saying, "Oh, you hold the baby too much." Yes, I'm supposed to hold them. I'm supposed to spoil them with love and hug them, let them understand that this is who I am. I'm their mom, whatever they are, whoever they're with, if they don't smell or feel that touch that I give them, for them to understand that. And no fault the people that feels that way, but I don't know. I just feel like when I hear people say, "Oh, the baby, you're gonna spoil the baby. Hold the baby too much. Lay the baby down. When the baby crying, let the baby cry." No, please don't. Don't let the baby cry. You can set a routine for the baby. Not a parent, or family, what is it called, coach or whatsoever. But I just feel like in that moment when they're at that stage of life where they're so tiny and so delicate, like that's when you have to show them that. The recess process. So as a child, I spent some time in the recess country with my grandparents. They did not educate me formally, but they taught me some independent skills. My biological parents took over my schooling when I came to Monrovia. How will you define their role? Which is raising, which is parenting? I would say your biological parents were parenting you, right? And your grandmother was raising you because she was there to teach you those soft skills of life and those hard skills of life. And that's how I think. And so you should know if I'm wrong, but in my definition of raising children, is the day to day aspect of life of taking that obligation of that.
I, I think what I'm noticing, there's some so poor sound quality. Yeah, there's some glitches, So I think if I may, you froze. Feel you froze some. Okay, sorry, viewer. I think there's some technical issues we experiencing tonight here on the program. Let's talk with Miss Fee. Uh, and tonight topic talking about the difference between parenting and raising up the children. So we having some technical problem, and we might not probably end the show like that. That we usually end it. So we might consider it close until probably tomorrow we come and redo the topic so we all can be able to partake in the
I'm back.
yeah you back. I think there's some technical.
Yeah, you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know.
So I was suggesting that since I mean, we're having some little technical problem because I'm not seeing the comments being appearing here. I don't know what's the problem.
It just got that. It just got that. Now
Yeah,
I
but I'm not seeing them. I don't know why. I'm not seeing them. So
something going on with um StreamYard. I had a really tough time getting on here, getting my video.
yeah, so I was thinking whether we could
Yeah,
probably
trying to close here, and then I'm gonna try to work on this game tonight to see what's going on.
because I even experiencing a poor sound quality from your end. So probably you could try to do some adjustment tonight, tomorrow. Then we see we got a perfect show on that. I suggest so.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, guys. Sorry, having some technical issues. If not, if I can, I might just go live regularly. And Sal, you can't hear me. Okay.